There are 28 letters in Arabic language. These 28 letters are classified into two categories, the sun letters and the moon letters. We have 14 sun letters and 14 moon letters. In this lesson, we will learn about them. We will learn why they are called sun letters and moon letters. We will also learn why we need to divide them into separate categories, the sun letters and the moon letters. And at the end of the video, I will show you a technique which will help you remember these letters. For now, let's focus on the question, why do we need to divide these 28 letters into two categories? To understand why we do that, look at the following two nouns. Ash-shamsu, which means the sun, and al-qamaru, which means the moon. From our previous video, you would be able to remember that the past two letters alif lam in both of these nouns, these letters are called the definite article of Arabic language. Al, the definite article of Arabic language. It's the same thing in both of the nouns, but in one noun we pronounce it and in the other noun we do not pronounce it. For example, in ash-shamsu, we directly connect the hamza with the sheen, ash-shamsu, and we leave out the lam. And in the other noun we do pronounce the lam. We say al-qamaru, al-qamaru. Now the reason why we pronounce the lam in the first noun and we do not pronounce it in the second noun is this. Whenever you have a sun letter after the alif lam, okay? Whenever you have a sun letter after the alif lam, you do not pronounce the lam. You directly connect the hamza with that sun letter. And when you have a moon letter after the alif lam, you must pronounce the lam. Okay, let's look at some examples to understand this concept. Al-khawfu, which means the fear. Now you see in this noun we do pronounce the lam. We pronounce it as al-khawfu. We pronounce the lam because kha, this letter is one of the moon letters, and we just learned that when we have a moon letter after the alif lam, we will pronounce the lam. That is why we will pronounce the lam, al-khawfu. Another example is al-babu, which means the door. In this case, you will also you will pronounce the lam, al-babu, because ba is one of the moon letters. Now let's look at some examples in which we do not pronounce the lam. As-sami'u, which means the listener. In this noun, we do not pronounce the lam. We directly connect the hamza with the sin, as-sami'u. The reason why we do that is because sin is from the sun letters. It is one of the sun letters. That is why we do not pronounce the lam. We directly connect the hamza with the sin and we pronounce this noun as as-sami'u. Another example is an-na'imu, which means someone who is sleeping, asleep. In this noun, we do not pronounce the lam again. The reason is that noon is one of the sun letters, an-na'imu. Before I tell you why they are called sun letters and moon letters, let me show you a technique which will help you remember these letters. Memorize this sentence. Ibghi hajjaka wa khaf aqima. Okay? In this sentence, we have 14 moon letters. Hamza, ba, ghain, ha, jim, kaf, waw, kha, fa, ain, qaf, ya, mim, and ha. Just memorize this sentence, and when you come across a word about which you're not sure whether to pronounce the lam or to not pronounce it, just look at this sentence and see if you find that letter in this sentence. If the letter is in this sentence, that means that letter is a moon letter and you have to pronounce the lam. And if you don't find that letter in this sentence, that means it is a sun letter and you must not pronounce that lam. Now, why do we call them sun letters and moon letters? Remember, we studied about ash-shamsu and al-qamaru, and I told you that ash-shamsu means the sun and al-qamaru means the moon. In ash-shamsu, we do not pronounce the lam, and in al-qamaru, we do pronounce the lam. That is the reason why Arab grammarians have named the other letters after these two words, because they make a good couple. Ash-shamsu and al-qamaru, the sun and the moon, they make a good couple. So the Arab grammarians friends named the other letters after these two words. So those letters with which we do not pronounce the lam, they named them after ash-shamsu, after the sun. They call them sun letters. And the letters with which we do pronounce the lam, they named those letters after the moon. So the moon letters. So huruf shamsiyya and huruf qamariya.